And go blue, everybody. It's great to be back here at Michigan at the Voice of College Football. John D'Adamo here, going to take you through this exciting day with the massive wide receiver steal from Georgia, electrifying Michigan's recruiting class. And folks, we've needed some good news, huh? I think we all have been in desperate need of some good news. And I'm going to take you through all of it. I'm going to take you through huddle tape. I'm going to take you through rankings. I'm going to take you through all that stuff. If you want to call the show, the link is in the description section, and we'll take calls in a little bit once we get through some of this stuff. Okay, so we are coming to you, as always, from YouTube, from X, from Twitch. But don't forget to check us out on radio on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart. As you come in, go ahead and hit the like button. Hitting the like button takes literally 5 seconds. And if you do it, then you can share it around. People share this. We get it out there. Hit the subscribe. And, of course, share the links out with at least one friend, or share it on a Discord or whatever groups you're in. I know everybody's tapped into all the stuff. That would mean a lot. We can really get this thing live. As always, we're taking super chats. Now, because this is a special edition, and I wasn't necessarily planning to do this all night, we are going to go 150 an hour, just like the post game. So if you would like to have a second hour, 150, and we'll make it happen. All right. So let's make it happen. And I'll be reading primarily super chats. So if you have a comment, you have a question, super chat it, and I will put it on screen for you guys. Before we get to our analysis, we do want to thank our sponsors. Of course, the Win Agency, who's been with us all season, giving them a little bit of extra love tonight. Look at these wonderful people here. So here we go. At Win Agency, we try to make things as simple as possible. We now have 3 self-service options available on our website. Check out the links in the chat to run your own marketplace, Medicare, and life insurance quotes. This service is available 24/7, 365. And if you need help, if you need Medicare, you need marketplace, whatever you need, I'm throwing the links right here for you guys. Check it out. There it is. Boom. You can get yourself some self-service quotes thanks to Win Agency. And that's not all, because also riding with us this season, Healthy Dogma. With Healthy Dogma, they're owned by Michigan alumni who know what loyalty means. For decades, the May family has cheered in the big house and always brings that same loyal dedication to crafting clean, Michigan-made food for dogs. Check out Healthy Dogma. Use code 25GoBlue because Michigan loyalty extends to our four-legged friends too. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and pop that link too. There it is. Now, in addition to the recruiting news, I also haven't popped off enough yet about Saturday. So we're going to start with positivity. But I have to pop off a little bit still. So we're going to have a little bit of everything today. Helping us start off our $150 for the second hour is Dan Kazort. So Dan Kazort just became a Leaders and Best member. Thank you so much, Dan, for getting us rolling. Elijah starting things off on the Super Chats with the $5. If Rod Moore comes back, who are your two safeties? And who hits the portal out of Curtis, Hillman, Young, and Mangum, and your projected starting secondary? Okay, I think Rod Moore is coming back because he didn't walk for senior. So I think he's going to come back. I think Rod Moore is going to be a safety, and probably Curtis. I don't think Mangum has really been pulling his weight. I don't know about Young. Hillman has been very hot and cold. He's had moments. I pointed them out on our watch parties when he has good moments. But Hillman giveth, and Hillman also taketh away. So I think we need to be very careful and have somebody who's actually consistent. So I think Curtis is going to be the other starter. And then Ben Vargo here, a Buckeye, contributing. Really appreciate that. Hey, John, keep doing your thing. Ben, thank you for supporting. And we do have some Buckeyes who are actually cool. I like to call them reasonable Buckeyes, right? Ben, Doreen. I'm sure there's others who are going to show up here in a little bit. So appreciate everybody who's here. So let's get things rolling with this. Michigan's recruiting class electrified. Folks, brick by brick indeed. The 11th ranked recruiting class in the country. Very exciting stuff. The key gain, of course, Brady Marchese. We also did lose today, Zion Robinson and Julian Walker. Walker has been expected for a while. Zion has been a bit of a late push from Stanford. But the big news, Brady Marchese out of Cartersville, Georgia, flips from Georgia to Michigan. For his senior year, Marchese has recorded 41 receptions, 981 passing yards, and 15, count them, 15 touchdowns. And folks, you're going to see right here just some of what makes this kid special. So this is from his junior year, so we can see a full season of film. You can play him at any position, X, Y, or Z. But we have been looking for those gritty receivers. And, you know, when Georgia goes after somebody, they need the physicality and they need the speed and the quickness. Kirby Smart runs a very power spread system. And so obviously you can see here, he can be utilized in any area of the field as an X, as a Z. You can put him very similar to Andrew Marsh. You can put him in the slot. He's just cooking these defenders here exactly like Andrew Marsh. I mean, he has a similar speed, get off speed, separation ability as an Andrew Marsh in some ways. Again, you can see here, this was double coverage, and he still gets the separation. That's exactly what you need because the double coverage is real. Andrew Marsh was double covered by Ohio State. Not every play, but enough where it did make an impact. So sometimes the better teams are going to take away the best impact players from you. So being able to get past double coverage, again, just blowing past defenders. You have to keep in mind it's high school, so he's playing competition that in some cases isn't going to be as good as college, and I understand that. But again, utilized as primarily an X or a Z. I'm not seeing him here as a slot, but I'm sure he could be a slot. Able to really crisp route running, really great speed after the catch. So he can run his routes effectively. He gets the after the catch speed. He's the type of player that Michigan needs. So I'm very happy that he is here with us. Again, 41 receptions, 981 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, pretty legit. And again, 11th ranked recruiting class in the country. Now, that's not all, folks, because we didn't just have Brady Marchese, right? We also kept a player named Travis Johnson. And again, Ron Bellamy. I've been maybe more critical of Ron Bellamy than I've been of any other coach. But let's give him his flowers on these two, right? Because again, here's Travis Johnson. I believe Travis Johnson, you have a player like Travis Johnson on your team. I think he may be the most electrifying wide receiver we've had. I know that, Andrew Marsh is definitely up there too. I could see Travis Johnson having Braylon Edwards-like ceiling. I really do believe that. His ability to cut, his ability to make those just every move possible to confuse defenders is something that is extremely impressive. It's something we have seen some from Andrew Marsh, and even the Buckeyes pointed out Andrew Marsh doing a good job at the Ohio State game. It's just the fact that Bryce was not able to throw to him at all, really. As you can see here, again, just the type of player evading tackles. And that's not just any tackle. That's like they're just literally rushing at the guy kind of tackle. So again, both of these were in jeopardy today. As of yesterday, were in jeopardy. Virginia Tech, fraudulent James Franklin making a push for Travis Johnson. And then obviously Brady Marchese, battle between Georgia, Michigan, and others. Remember, he had more than 40 offers. So I want to talk about this before we start taking some calls. Folks, let me ask you a question. Do we think that Sharon Moore and Ron Bellamy went to these players and said, we're going to run the same offense that we ran against Ohio State? Absolutely not. Which makes me think more change is coming. Or at the very least, adjustments in how they approach the offense. We know that Sharon Moore was calling plays alongside Chip. It was not Chip Lindsey cooking. I'm wondering if one of the pitches, in addition to, of course, you could play right away, just like Andrew Marsh. What if one of the other pitches is Chip Lindsey's going to run the offense entirely? I'm going to run the program. I trust him now to run the offense. I wonder, because do you think that both of these players come if Sharon isn't committing to major changes in the? I don't know. I hope that that's the case. We did lose Zion to Stanford. So Stanford does have some upsides in terms of location. Cali, nice weather. Education is top-notch at Stanford. So I understand that. But apparently Zion's dad was very unhappy with what he saw against Ohio State. So it's interesting that they were able to keep Travis and then get this flip Marchese. I think that says a lot about, I do think Marquise, thank you. Okay. Marquise, really? Okay. Do you still want to fire Bellamy? I would like to maybe adjust his role because I still believe that the development isn't there. Andrew Marsh had the least amount of time with Ron Bellamy and was the best wide receiver. I don't want to hear anything other than that's obviously a warning sign. Why don't we have a wide receiver? So let's take a look at Ohio State. Let's take a look at Brian Hartline. Okay, I know he just left he's going to be the head coach at USF. But look at the growth and improvement of the wide receivers under Brian Hartline. Carnell Tate was not an all-world receiver a year or two ago. He was considered like option 3, maybe. Carnell Tate this year had a massive growth spurt in terms of his abilities. Jeremiah Smith already was excellent last year, took a step up this year. Brian Hartline knows how to develop wide receivers. What did we see? Samaj Morgan taking massive, huge backtracks, right? So, look, I think Bellamy's a hell of a recruiter. I think Sharon Moore is a hell of a recruiter. James Franklin's a great recruiter. Brady Hoke's a great recruiter. Here's what we need to see. We need to see the coaching ability on the field. Where's that? Like, that's the part that we're missing. I do believe, though, that it's coming. J.B. Brown being fired, great decision, had to happen. It was obvious. Now let's see what else happens. So I appreciate the call out there. I do. I do think there need to be some adjustments. All right. So, yeah, and a lot of people are saying, yes, he still needs to get fired. Okay. If there's a way to keep him as a recruiter, but let Soup run the wide receiver room, or a wide receiver coach of Soup Campbell's ability. I was talking, as you know, about Lonnie Galloway, right? Lonnie Galloway. So, I think that there's some things we could talk on there. I'm going to put the call link in the chat. Remember, we also have the call link in the description of the video, so you guys can literally call from the video. But let's go ahead and point out a couple other things here. So again, with the recruiting class, I do believe that this has electrified the recruiting class. But when we look at the total recruiting class here, I mean, kudos to you. Got to give Sharon Moore, Sean McGee, another year of 2 5-star recruits, Carter Meadows and Savion Hyder. I haven't even played the Savion Hyder film yet. I will later. At maybe one of the best players I've ever seen at this level, at the high school level. He is all world. I believe he is going to play as a freshman, right? And then you go to the D-line, multiple D-line pickups, right? Vallejo, Davis, then the retention of Travis Johnson. You got Walbridge, you got Vincent, Malachi Lee. All of these people have signed their letters of intent. Moose Ludwig as tight end, Andre Clark, Jordan Deck, and so on. Just excellent. Tommy Carr was a recent addition, as we know. Tommy Carr from the Carr family. Great pickup there. So, yeah. So it's Mark. What did we say is the official pronunciation? Marquise. Okay, so Marquise. I will say that out of respect. Sometimes, the pronunciations get me. I will admit that. All right. With that said, keep the super chats coming because we still have 140 to go if you guys want a second hour. But in the meantime, let's get to our first caller of the night. We've got West Quad, Best Quad in the house.
Yep. What up, though?
Hey, how about some good news the last 2 days? How about that?
Bro, I hated losing Zion Robinson, but to replace him with what's the pronunciation?
Marquise.
Okay, I'll take that. You know what's wild? I actually have. If I had known, I would have been watching him this whole time because I'm pretty sure Cartersville has been on GPTV, which is our local PBS station. We get high school football every Friday. So I would have been watching this kid. I mean, I'm pretty sure they showed him at least once or twice. We got actually 2 channels that show high school football, so I would have been watching them. But it is what it is. Maybe I think they're still involved in like the state run, so I'm willing to watch. But yeah, I've been watching, bro. But it is what it is. Just like, oh yeah, we lost that kid from Carrollton. A cornerback recruit. I think he went to Colorado, maybe. But anyway, yeah, we had a local guy, and we ended up losing him. I forget what his name is though. decommit earlier.
Okay.
Never heard
Well,
on that.
Guess what? Decommit, out of my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Same.
dead to me.
I can't remember who it is. I never tweeted recruits, but I actually tweeted at him, and it was a bad bad omen. So I'll never do it again. I just give him a heart, and that's it.
Because just for fun, I went off to Chris Henry, and I was just like, hey, you want to do something really legendary? Come to Michigan.
Did he even commit?
He's going to Oregon, I think.
That's my guess as well.
Yeah, once Hartline decided to go be the head coach of USF, he's gonna go over to Oregon now.
Hey, good on him for not waiting until Monday. I mean Hartline. As opposed, that's a stand-up guy at least, because a lot of coaches will leave afterwards, and then get the kid locked in, which is foul pool in my estimation. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this class though. I'm the only thing, like I said, I wanted to keep Robinson as that big receiver, but he doesn't have the weight. But Travis Johnson has the size as a bigger receiver. He's just skinny as hell. But he's a technician as a route runner, so I don't even I think he can play as a freshman. He's got to put on a little weight in the summer.
Point.
Yeah, he's got to put on a little weight in the summer, at least 10 pounds or so. But I think he's ready to go. Other than that.
With that said, since we're on the topic of bulking up, what do we think about Justin Tress staying or going?
I mean, I hate calling for people's jobs, bro, but I definitely did with JB Brown, because 10-yard punts in the game ain't gonna cut it. And I know that's not his fault, but that's your guy as a coach. That's your responsibility. So, but special teams stunk all year. I think there was very rarely do we have a consensus as Michigan fans, but we all came to a consensus that guy's got to go.
Well, and this as a former player. I was talking with Zach Marshall a few years ago, and it really opened my eyes to just how involved strength and conditioning coaches are at Michigan. Talking about Ben Herbert and how involved he was with Zach Marshall's day-to-day. Every single day, he was on his ass. The accountability was always there, and it felt like that strength and conditioning program was run with military discipline. And from what we've been hearing, just some whispers that I won't name anybody out of respect, but just whispers that it's definitely gotten a lot more laid back, and there's been some frustration with that. And I think that the loss of Ben Herbert was so monumental because of just how he kept everybody in line. Let's see. Are you there, West Squad?
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Gotcha.
It never fails. People always want to call me. You're live. Maeve's live. Johnny's live. Nobody ever calls me until I go live, bro. You got all day to call me, but this little sliver of time you want to call me now. No, don't call me now. Let me do this right quick. But yeah, what'd you say? I definitely you were frozen there too. I was like, is John frozen?
Oh, you're good. You're good. So essentially, here's the thing. I was telling the story of how I talked to Zach Marshall.
When Zach Marshall,
and when Zach Marshall in 23 was working with Ben Herbert, and how Ben Herbert, he called him Herb, and every single day Herb was on him, on his ass. And that's
what got me in trouble, by the way. SEC got me in trouble. I was a lazy ass. I'm not going to say in front. A combination of SEC and not having enough credits to be eligible. And I picked up, it was a whole story. This is definitely his, even then, I didn't really like my strength and conditioning coach, but accountability was definitely a thing. You couldn't screw around, and I definitely screwed around. So that's what got me off the team. But no, man, you can't. I mean, you can't let the inmates run the asylum, so to speak. You have to have a taskmaster as the head of SNC. He has to be that guy. It can't be buddy. Like it has to be that guy that's gonna get on your ass. So I don't like hearing what you said. Like I don't like hearing the buddy part because as soon as you get a little lax when it comes to that, then that's when the dam breaks, bro. You can't give him an inch. So I definitely once again I don't like calling for jobs, but if that's the case, then I just think we need her back anyway, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I never wanted to see him leave the building, but I thought as a disciple that Tress will be able to,
I know. That's what I thought too.
Keep it going. And apparently
I actually gave him credit after 24 because players were looking improved in 24. Right. From the beginning of the season to the Ohio State and Alabama game.
But you know what? I've just realized we got a lesser version of both guys. We got a friendly buddy version of Harbaugh and Herbert. And unless Sharon and Justin Tress get it in gear, we're not gonna see the levels of 23 again. We need to get back to, I mean, you can party in the off season, bro, like a little bit, but you can't party in season. It has to be about the team in season. So
yeah, it would be great to have like a Harbaugh run program, but Sharon runs recruiting. That really would be because the thing is, it's like, why can't we, like, Harbaugh wasn't that good at recruiting a lot of years, but he was great towards the end. Exactly. Yeah. But he was great at program building, and he was great at accountability. And I don't know if you saw the episode of The Blueprint when Jake Butt was talking about the difference between when Brady Hoke was running things and when Jim Harbaugh was running things. And like when Brady Hoke came into the room, everybody was like, yay, and was joking around, and but then when Jim Harbaugh came into the room, it was silent. And Jake Butt was told, yeah, we don't clap unless we win.
Right.
And it was just a different culture and a different standard with Jim Harbaugh over Brady Hoke. And I'm worried that things have kind of gone back a little bit to that era, at least in terms of the program being run.
No, I mean, you could see it in the results though. Like you could tell that it's, I mean, like I said, I don't like calling people's jobs, bro, but I'm giving him one more year. Like I said, if I'm at this point, then I can only imagine what the hardliners feel like. They're ready to get him out the door already. So this is, including this bowl game, it's like you got to show and prove, bro.
Well, you're right, and the bowl game is going to be really interesting because how does Sharon handle the bowl game? Does Sharon give Chip the keys to the offense? Because I've been debating this on X. Anybody who's saying that Chip is in full control of the offense doesn't understand what's happening. Because if you look at Chip Lindsey's offense in previous years and you look at this year, it's not the same at all.
Bro, the ghost of Bo Schembechler is calling plays. 3 run, pass,
run, pass,
punt.
run, pass, run, pass.
Bro, I mean, you can see it coming. It's like that's the worst when you know as a fan, like, oh, not this again. Like,
but
no creativity, bro.
Against Maryland, and I was there at the game, and it was really great. There was more 11 personnel. There was more in terms of pre-snap motion, in terms of just creative ways to get people out in space. And I love some of his run concepts and how he blocks and how he utilizes the O-line to block. Very different from how other play callers have in the past. And so at the Maryland game, it was clear. It felt like Chip was way more in control in that game. And I just, and this is not just me saying this is insiders. This is people that actually know, talking about how Sharon saw one good run from Jordan Marshall, and then they decided to turtle up and then run, pass. And I understand that Bryce wasn't on his game. And
he
I
was
get
not on his game.
he was bad, but whose fault is that? Is the fault all with Bryce? No. The fault is with the program as a whole, and taking the play calling away from Chip. It's not having multiple weapons, right? Because Andrew Marsh being the only weapon, he was open sometimes, but they also focused on him sometimes, Patricia. And so I just think like the bowl game's going to tell us something.
Right.
No, what does the offense look like?
And I got to check myself because I definitely expected way more than I should have from a freaking just turned 18-year-old. I think most of us, once we got the reality of the season, I mean, like that kid's, he's like I just say, he's play to play, and like we can't have that as a quarterback. You can't have that at too many positions, period. But you definitely can't be a play to play quarterback. You need consistency, like from play to play. You can't be a maybe guy as quarterback. Like it just can't. It can't be. Like you really can't do it in any position, but more so the quarterback than anything else. Quarterback and kicker can't be play to play.
So this is my last question, and we got a couple more callers, and we might only go an hour today. So,
okay.
So my last question is for quarterback coach. So right now it's technically Chip, but there's also a guy named Synagoga, who is the on the field kind of quarterback coach, going through the plays and kind of. Joe Sloan is officially out of the running because of he's going to Kentucky.
Okay.
So I actually, partially joking, but partially not, retweeted when somebody said Devin Gardner should be the quarterback coach. And I think he's enjoying his broadcasting a little too much to go be the quarterback coach in Ann Arbor. But
I can one up that one. I saw someone on that said Steve Clarkson, the famed quarterback guru.
Hey,
and that would be awesome. Not gonna lie, like I know that's like pretty unrealistic, but if I mean, why not shoot for the stars? Because he needs a quarterback coach. That goes without saying. So why not go for it? I mean, Devin would be a nice fallback, but Steve Clarkson is a guru. Like I don't even play quarterback, and I've known about that guy damn near since I was in high school. And he's had some busts, obviously, but yeah, Steve Clarkson. I think he's out in California.
Yeah,
probably.
He is, and he worked with Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Castle, also a guy named Tathan Martell.
I'm saying, it hasn't all been sweet, but that was in pros. They were mostly pretty good college quarterbacks.
Yeah, Wilton Spate also. He worked with Wilton Spate. Remember
him? So now you're trying to get me off of that. Is that your way of walking me back?
Hey, listen. I'm open to it. I'm open to it because I think Synagoga is not getting it done. I think that's clear. And Chip seems to be not able to balance both roles, and that's fine. I think Chip's a great play caller when he's allowed to actually run his offense.
We can all agree. We know the difference.
Yeah. Not as much 13 personnel when Chip is calling, much more creativity, much more motion, much more pre-snap motion, much more just different things that make you guess. And then when Sharon's running the offense, run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. So anyway, so that you got anyway, obviously great day from a recruiting perspective. What would you say would be a final thought for everybody?
Final thought. Let me see. Is that a fumble? Final thought. I like the class. Okay, my final thought is somehow, this is on me, I forgot about Malachi Lee being in this class, bro. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But it was like, and I said on Twitter, it was like having like that last unopened gift. Like, oh, we didn't open this one. So that's how I feel like, oh, I forgot about Malachi Lee, who I think is going to be a monstrous road grader. I don't know where where he ends up playing.
He's going to go hard whichever
Yeah,
position.
I'm ready to
Honolulu,
see
Hawaii, big
I'm ready
blues.
to see him and Ty Haywood on the field, bro. They play that nasty, and I think Walbridge can be that type of guy too. But I'm ready to see those nasty, like Taylor Lewan type linemen back on the field. So that's all I got. Thanks for having me. I'll be in the chat. Go Blue.
Thank you always, and go Blue, West Quad.
All right.
All right. We have some breaking news. Matt Campbell has been projected to go to Penn State. It is not, I don't see it as official yet. The current reporting is emerged as the focus. So has not been confirmed yet, but that is most likely who it's going to be. I thought Terry Smith, they would just give him they would put him on a prove it deal, and they would let him be the coach for a year. That's who everybody seemed to want from, similar to a Sharon Moore situation, right? The players wanted him, people inside the program wanted him, and alumni wanted him. They decided to go with, sounds like, Matt Campbell. So interesting choice there. All right, folks. So we've got about 20 minutes to go. If you guys want the show to continue for second hour, $140 to go. Otherwise, I'm going to take the 3 callers I've got in queue. We'll do a quick chat with each of them, and then that'll be that for tonight. So go ahead and if you want to keep the show rolling another hour, go ahead and hit that super chat. Coming up next on Michigan, the Voice of College Football, we got Cam in the house.
What's going on, John? Go Blue, man. What's going on?
Like I said, just good to West Quad. Just good to get some good news and some positive things going on.
Yeah, I like our class, man, but I'm really scared of the development.
Mm-hmm.
That's I have a problem with, and people need to understand that. I don't like to talk about this team, but there is proof in the pudding. The team that we just lost to last Saturday, they had a turnover too. They had a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. They lost 8 people on defense. They lost both of their running backs, their quarterback, some of their offensive line, and all they tend to do is rebuild. We cannot have that as a program, and we try to set a standard here at Michigan. We can't have that, especially in the money era, in the NIL era. We know we young, but we can't have that excuse.
The question is, Cameron, can Sharon Moore find it in him to turn this program back into one of development, like it was under Harbaugh? And I don't know yet. And we need to also remember he's getting 2 more years.
Exactly.
Not 1 more year, folks. He's getting 2 more years.
Yeah.
Ward Manuel is the athletic director. He doesn't like making change. He doesn't like to get off his ass and do a national search. So he's a notorious do nothing as an athletic director. And so because of that, Sharon's getting 27 unless he goes like 5-7 or worse. And even then, maybe not. Right. So we need to hope that the change is made internally to JB Brown being let go is a great start. I hope that that's not it, right? I hope that there's more to come, because I don't see how it is currently as development. I forgot to mention this guy, Tommy Moffitt, the director of strength and conditioning at A&M, is somebody who I would love to throw a bag to.
Yeah.
And bring him in. Let Justin Tress be the assistant if he wants to stay, or let him go to another program and be the strength coach. But as you just said, Cam, this is Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan should have the same standard, in my opinion, as Ohio State. Why
Yes.
not? If even at Indiana, a 3-9 program can get flipped
Yes.
overnight to an 11-win program and then an undefeated program this year, why not Michigan? Why does Michigan have to be the only one where we say, oh, yeah, they're young. Oh, yeah, they're this and they're that. And Jim Harbaugh had bad recruiting classes. That was 2 years ago, everybody. That was
Yes.
2 years
Yes.
ago. Where's the portal?
Yes.
So I believe, Jolin and some of these donors are going to be pushing for change because they need to see return on their investment. Like, this is a business now. And with all, my full-time job, I'm in business, and it's all about return on investment when it comes to advertising, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to, I'm investing X dollars. I want to see what that return is going to look like. Well, right now, not a whole hell of a lot, because it's a very soft 9-3 schedule, right? It's a very, very light, I believe that the 24 team beats this team. I genuinely believe, even with Davis Warren as the quarterback, I think the 24 team beats the team that we saw against Ohio State. I really do.
Yeah.
So I think we need to see it go the other direction really quick, especially when 26 is a pretty rough schedule. To go 10-2 in that schedule is going to be a daunting task. And so I think he's going to need a lot more coaching help from people like Tommy Moffitt, from people like whoever the new special teams coach is going to be, et cetera,
And it wasn't the talent, it was just the discipline, the lack of awareness on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurted some of the things what we try to do. And it came up big in the last game of the situation, because I was on another podcast, and I told them, I like our class, but do we have the coaching staff to develop the young guys that we have right now moving forward? And that's a big possibility to me, to see what we didn't have for 2 years.
Yeah, it's tough, because this year, look, I never, maybe I did once in the heat of the moment, but I usually have not said fire Sharon Moore, right? I've said give him time. Let's make some changes on the assistant staff. Let's bring in an experienced head coach as assistant head coach, like a Kevin Wilson was to Ryan Day. If we remember that from 2019, 2020, Kevin Wilson acted as a mentor, as a kind of showing him the ropes a little bit on head coaching. So I'm hoping that happens again, that someone comes in like Kevin Wilson did for Ryan Day, to really show Sharon the ropes, because he just hasn't been there yet. Like the in-game decision making, just the overall culture has taken such a dip. And we've heard this from, I won't say who, but from people within the program. We've heard this from people who report on the program, that the culture has taken a dip, and the accountability has taken a dip. So how do we flip that around? And so what I want to do today is try to be positive and recommend, have ideas, instead of just saying, hey, this isn't working. Okay, who do we recommend to flip it around? Right. And so I thought Biff would be that guy this year. I thought Biff was going to be potentially the Kevin Wilson, but apparently not. So I would love to see, who they might be able to get. I mean, even somebody like Tom Allen. You remember Tom Allen?
Yeah, from Indiana.
Yeah. Former, obviously, D coordinator at Penn State for 2024. But he's been, he's at Clemson now as D coordinator. That hasn't really been working out too good. So why not come over and help show Sharon the ropes on how to be a head coach for a couple of years? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that I'm just going to try to be constructive, and I'd love to ask the chat, who would be that guy? Who would be that coach for Sharon?
That's not a bad. You know what? I like that. Yeah, timeout. Yeah, because if you notice when Indiana played against Michigan, he was always in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was always in the fight. So he do got what it takes to elevate where you don't have talent to elevate them to get up for a big time game against Michigan. Now I could say about that what he did with that team against us. I don't know what he did with the other teams, but I know when we played against him against Michigan, when Harbaugh was here, it was a tough outing. Did we really blow them out when Harbaugh was here?
In maybe 1 year did
1 year, yeah.
did we blow out Indiana, but I remember it being 52-7 in 2023. But Indiana usually played Michigan close.
Yes, yes. And that was I think that was his last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it was the national championship team.
Yeah, and I think that's when everything went from under him that year in 2020, 2023. Because 2022 and 2021, he had some, yeah, yeah. I would like that. We do need help. We do need help. But for positive, I like this class, and
Me too.
we need to start being greedy
Mm-hmm.
on in football. Okay, we need to be start being greedy. We need to flex our muscle. We need to show what the block M is really about. And I think if we can do that, we'll get back on track. No matter how you do it, it can be recruiting, it can be
Mm-hmm.
portal, it could be in the weight room, it could
Yeah.
be going to classes, attention to detail. We just
Mm-hmm.
need to start flexing our muscle. It's not a block
Absolutely.
M for, you know what I'm saying? It's a block M for a reason. It's a block M for a
Absolutely.
reason.
It is
So
a block M for a reason.
I think we need to start flexing our muscle to let everybody know in college, hey, we the real deal over here.
Yeah, and
And
keep in mind that next year Babalola is going to be back healthy. For the O line, Haynes, might be coming back as a running back, which is really interesting. There's definitely some smoke there with the new NIL deal. So we do need some pickups though in the portal: wide receiver, D
mhm,
line, cornerback. I'd like to see a little another safety. I'd like to see another tight end because the tight ends just weren't getting it done this year in terms of receptions, except my guy Zach Marshall is pretty much it.
yeah,
Right. So
yep,
I'd love to see some of that. Center, maybe for depth, but Jake Garnera is probably going to be our center next year. And I think
mhm,
that's a good, I like him at center. But you could bring in somebody you definitely bring in somebody to compete or somebody to be depth. Anyway, Cam, let's have a final thought. We got two more callers.
okay. My final thought is that just go for our new upcoming class and the one we had last year, and everybody on the Michigan team, the coaching staff, and everybody. They need to take this personal.
Mm-hmm.
Take it personal. Have a chip on your shoulder because they making means out of Bryce. They making mean out of coaching staff. Everything. Take this personal. Just take it personal. Have that chip. It will come out. It will
Absolutely.
come out smelling like roses on the other end. Believe me. If they take it personal, John, and take it with like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of y'all talking about mission. We don't laugh at us. We'll be coming out smelling like roses.
There you go.
Thank you, John. Thanks, everybody. I love this recruiting class. Go blue.
Go Blue Cam. Okay. So some people in the chat recommending Jay Harbaugh. So Jay Harbaugh, currently the special teams coordinator for the Seahawks, he would need a significant bump in responsibility and title and money to come back here. Do I think it's impossible? No. Do I think it's likely? No. But hey, let's I would love for Sharon to make the call. If we can get Jay Harbaugh back, that's huge. So the punter situation, I agree we need a punter. Here's what I'm wondering. Why didn't they at least try Sunderland? He was already doing kickoffs. Sunderland looked like he had a boot. Is there just a reason that was it like load management? I mean, I'm wondering why they didn't, like, it couldn't have been worse than Hollenbeck. Just try Sunderland out for one punt in the fourth quarter. See how he does. I don't know. He looked like he had a boot, and we didn't really use him and maybe that's another reason Brown got fired, is that he wasn't able to leverage his personnel effectively. Hans. Yes, I remember this screen name with the two. I don't care. We're cooked with Sharon at the helm. That's your prerogative to think that. If I thought that 100%, I'd be playing Boulevard of Broken Dreams all the time. I try to have a little positivity at some of these things and think he's going to have a massive chip on his shoulder. He looked like a man that was contemplating some changes after that Ohio State game. So I am hopeful that that's what happens. Thanks to Hans, we are now down to 1:38 to go for second hour. So we got 10 minutes left. Who is going to step up and get us the second hour? Next up, we've got Mike Fort in the house. Mike, it's been a minute since we've been chatting.
Yeah, I figured I'd come back and make a cameo appearance.
I love it. Good to see you again.
How's it going, Scoop?
Can't complain. Life is good.
Yeah, I hear that. Get ready for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah. Just put up the tree, and I'll probably keep it up till February again. Just despite all the people who called it out last year.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Be in the spirit, man.
Absolutely. Well, what did you think about today?
Like I said, I think we're good on a lot of spots. Like I said, the weaknesses are going to be tight end and defensive back. Because I think we could do better than Mason and Moose. Neither one of them really seem like an impact tight end to me. I think that's going to be kind of weak. And we're going to need something more in defensive backs. I think we got who's our best one? We got Clark. Is he probably the best one we got coming in?
Sorry, who?
Was it Andre Clark? I think it is. I mean, we don't really have any defensive backs.
Yeah, the cornerback. Yeah, the from Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, and also Jamarian Vincent is another one.
See, none of the guys we got signing in, I think, because I think we're going to have to portal in, somebody.
Well, it's rare to start as a true freshman, so you're right. I don't know if Jair has any more eligibility, but he seems to be kind of over it based on his IG that was public. So I don't know. I think we need I think we need to portal a couple of position groups: cornerback, D-line, O-line, wide receiver, tight end. I'd love to see another of each of those in the portal, and not everybody's going to work out, but at the very least, get that competition going.
I kind of think that D lineman is going to be a strength for us coming out. I'm really big on Titan coming in. I mean, there's some quality guys. I think the O-line. I mean, we got Haywood and Babalola, so we're good on line. They have the red shirt. We're going to be good on O-line.
Yeah, O-line. I mean, here's the thing. O-line. We gotta have every opportunity at O-line that we can, right? This year, even the best five that was there at the end, they allowed, like, Bryce was clearly feeling rushed. He was clearly not making his reads, and that's as a result of players coming at him all year. You start to see ghosts, hear footsteps, and I think you saw that in the Ohio State game. And so I think we've got some promising people. We've got Babalola that's going to be back healthy. Ty Haywood. I really like Garnera moving to center and that idea. But we're going to need more. I feel like true freshmen playing at the lines is tough.
Yeah.
Right? You want to have experienced players in some of those roles. And I think that contributed to the mismatch against Ohio State because you had redshirt freshmen going up against NFL guys, and the trench mismatch was clear, right? And so having experienced guys there that have had like 30 starts in football, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, a lot of this you can just chalk up to youth. I mean, we just had too many freshmen out there. And give it time, it'll progress. And the wide receivers, I mean, we also have to remember that Calvin Russell's still out there, and I think we're probably going to nail him over Miami. And that's due to the fact that he wants to be on a good quality basketball team, which we're top 3 right now. And Dusty May does have some relationship with Russell.
If you remember, I hosted the Calvin Russell watch party when he was an hour late to his announcement. He did another announcement yesterday that he announced that he wasn't announcing. He strikes me as a diva and as a me guy who's about himself and not the team, and I don't think Michigan needs him. I think he's going to wind up being a bust. I really do. Because that's not the mentality that is going to win a national championship. That's the mentality that you might get some film on tape and be at a program like a Miami that goes 8-4. And I think that's where I think Miami's he even did one of these. So in yesterday's announcement, he was doing this. I'm pretty sure he's going to the U, aka Miami. It would be my guess.
Well, I just think the fact that we need somebody that's got length because other than McCauley, we don't really have that what we can get a guy. I think the tallest guy we have coming in is Travis Johnson's probably getting 6'2". So we don't really have that 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guy what they can get it. And I think Russell is what 6'5". I mean he's thin as a twig, but he's like 6'5", I think.
Yeah, so Travis is 6'3", Moose Ludwig is 6'4", so that's nice. Aside from that, they're definitely in the 6'1", 6'2" realm.
And that was the reason why I was big on McCauley coming over. It wasn't that I thought he had great hands or breakaway speed. It's just that, him being 6'6", he's the guy that you throw the fade to the back of the end zone and he goes up and gets it. And that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm out on Calvin Russell after what I've seen the last couple months.
Okay, I'll admit there's some character questions. I give you that.
Yeah, you think, and when we're trying to improve the culture, the last thing you want is a me guy coming in and trying to hog the spotlight and get on the TikTok reels instead of focus on practice and on getting better. You need more Andrew Marshes who are dedicated, great attitude, come in early every day, leave late. That's who you want. You want Andrew Marsh mentality with your wide receivers. I think he's going to continue to improve because he's got that drive to do so. And he was even wide open against Ohio State on multiple occasions, just doing cardio out there.
Speaking of wide receivers in the state of Michigan named Marsh, there's
Nick.
He's in the portal. He's in the portal.
Yes, he is. Yes. I guess Fitzgerald wasn't able to keep him. Coach Weenie Wash wasn't able to keep Nick Marsh around. Interesting. I would love to have him here. I think it's possible. I think his people are talking to Michigan. So it wouldn't completely surprise me if that were to happen. And it would immediately elevate our receiving room and literally you have another receiver ready to go out there day one, game one. But
The last guy,
Mike,
also
any
high.
final thoughts for us? We got one more caller, and then we're going to wrap things up.
Yeah, and just watch for Brady McGill, because now one thing I like about him, real quick, his dad is his coach. I like guys with their dad as the coach. They tend to progress a little bit better whenever they go to a top program.
Mm-hmm.
So I think McGill might be the guy that can kind of push Underwood to Golden Bell.
That'd be nice, and I think that, and Carr is coming in too. And obviously he's from a coaching family.
Yep, that's true.
So both of them are from coaching families or coaching in their direct history or even their dad. So yeah, they could both push him, and if nothing else, that quarterback room immediately has been jumped up, right? Because it's not just Bryce and Jaden Davis and Davis Warren. It's going to be two I think very capable true freshman quarterbacks that are going to be learning, and you have a decent sized room then.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well,
all right, Mike. Thanks for coming back, man.
Yeah, have a good one and go blue.
Go blue. That was Mike Fort, who has been a long-time viewer, long-time caller, and a mod, and he's just doing the damn thing. Great to see him here. We got one more caller. Now, folks, if you want a second hour, last chance. You got 133 to go. GT bringing it to 133. So I didn't even watch the Rockefeller tree lighting last night because I knew I could look at John's tree. So right now, the tree is, let's see. I'm trying to, there it is. There's the tree. And we've got multi-colored. Got a multi-color situation there. All right. A little bit of behind the scenes for you there. There you go, GT. That was just for you. But yeah, so this year the tree is going to be, now that I actually have my own office and broadcast area of the apartment, the tree's down in the living room. So it's not like last year where everything was crammed into one. We got some more space to spread out now. All right, last caller of the night, unless we got 133. So if anybody wants to make that happen, go for it. Let's go Marmar. So we got Marmar in the house here. Would love Marmar. I know you've been pretty critical, as I have been, about what we saw Saturday, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on the recruiting moves here the last couple days.
I think the recruiting class went well. I like that Brady dude. He reminded me of Roman Wilson. We need a receiver like that in the slot. If you pay attention to Ron Bellamy, everybody talking about Ron Bellamy being a bad coach, but he did develop Roman Wilson. Story about Roman Wilson, Harbaugh went out there to one of them camps in Hawaii, and Roman Wilson was the little guy at the camp showing out. And he ended up becoming a Michigan little legend. I call him a little legend because what he did in the Rose Bowl.
Alabama, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a legend for that. So I like the Brad Marquise guy, Brady Marquise. And I want the chat to understand. Tommy Carr, he coming to play. Tommy Carr is coming to play. You don't think his grandpa saying, yeah, you can go in there and start? So this is a push Bryce. They would push Bryce because Jaden Davis wasn't pushing Bryce.
No. I thought that was such a joke when it was literally just Bryce and Jaden Davis. And they called it a quarterback competition. And I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these coaches, you need a we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do in the offseason. We still got the bowl game. It looks like they're gonna retain Wink.
Okay.
Because if not, so this is my thing. If the performance was that bad on Saturday, heads would have been cut the next day. The only head that's been cut is JB Brown. He's not the only fuck up on the team.
And that might be it. That might be the only move that might be the only change they make.
You need to make more changes.
Well, we'll see. Let me ask you this. Let's put you in the head coach role. Coach Marmar, what are some of the moves you would make to help improve the team? I'd love to.
I'm getting rid of Bill Belichick. I'm bringing in the experienced guy that's going to be on the side of me. I'm going to get Jay Harbaugh, regardless, because having a Harbaugh, Jay Harbaugh understands what it's supposed to look like. So if you go get Jay Harbaugh, then Sharon Moore can take the input from him. He ain't gonna disrespect Jay Harbaugh because Jimmy gonna come for him. So that's why I think you bring in Jay Harbaugh. Then you go get the defensive coordinator from either the Baltimore Ravens. One of these guys in the NFL want to come coach college football. You can't tell me they don't. Let me put another bird in there. Don't be surprised if the NFL don't come calling for Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
He could be going, but it's hard for me to get excited about that idea because it feels like Ohio State every single year they just find the two best recruiters possible or the two best coordinators possible, right? They upgraded at DC this year. They at least stayed constant at OC. I was shocked about that. Like, I thought Chip Kelly was a great hire.
You just lost the best recruiter. You just lost the best recruiter in the nation. Nation.
You're right.
Listen, here in a couple of years, that's going to pay dividends. Plus,
well, Chris Henry already is switching to Oregon.
Yes. Hold on. That's the price you pay when you win $40 million. Listen, that $40 million is going to turn to $60 million deficit. It's going to be, it's Ryan Day, man. He's from New Hampshire. All he knew how to do is just sit on the waterfront of Niagara Falls and take football. I'll give it to Ryan Day. He a genius. He is a genius. And that's why you seeing what you're seeing today. But all that leaves next year. Then you lost Hardline. Yeah, that's a big piece. We'll see how they do. They got a gauntlet of a schedule next year, too. They got to go to Texas. Texas return mostly everybody. Ohio State don't. And you think they're going to lose to them next year? Nah, I don't believe so. So we'll see. But Coach Marmar will want a right-hand man on the side of me. The running back coach, great. The wide receiver coach, I like Bellamy because he can get guys. People talking about he developed Marsh. Maybe Marsh the only one listening in that room. Do everybody ever think of that? What I learned is that Sharon Moore letting these players run around rapid and do whatever. He don't got control of the program. That's why you seeing what you seeing. So I get somebody in there to help me control the program, get it back to normal, get it back to the culture to where it was at with discipline, because we don't see the discipline anymore. So let's get back to that. Let's get back to like somebody said on the show on the other podcast, that it's the mindset. That's why people getting hurt. It's the mindset. Because if you think you can't get the job done and you go out there and try to get the job done, 9 times out of 10, that's where the injury come from. So I would get rid of Rink and bring in a younger DC, just because he'll be able to relate to the players. You see how Jesse Minter and Mike McDonald was able They were able to listen to these men and go out here and perform great defense.
I like GT's comment. Andrew Marsh attributed wearing headphones in team meetings to his success, talking about Bellamy not really being the reason. I think he's inferring that the talent, Marsh is just talented, because everybody that Ron Bellamy had.
So
was
Roman Wilson talented, or did he get developed?
That's the one exception. We know that we know that most of the wide receivers in the last 3-4 years have not been like look at Samaj Morgan. Love the guy. Always will love him for 23.
Listen, Samaj Morgan did good with Harbaugh, though. Harbaugh knew how to use him.
Yes. True.
That's what I'm saying. When you lose a coach like Harbaugh, then you bring in a guy that's working on the job, it's going to be a different result. It's going to look different. Samaj Morgan fumbled in the Rose Bowl. Who Harbaugh go to again? Samaj Morgan.
It's true.
He trusted this guy.
It's true.
That's all I'm saying, man. It's like, it's the coach and Sharon Moore. He need to get out of players' chats and be a coach. Stop trying to be everybody's friend. The inmates don't run the prison. The inmates don't run the prison. The warden do.
That's why I'd love. What do you think about Tommy Moffitt from Texas A&M as strength and conditioning coach?
How about you go do me a favor when you get off this video? Go look at Scott Cochran. He won 2 national championships with LSU back with Nick Saban. Then he went with Alabama, won national championship, and then he went to Georgia for 2 seasons, and that's why they went back to back, because they're strength and conditioning. Did you see their defensive line them 2 years at Georgia?
Yep. Insane.
And now he's coaching at West Alabama. Go look up Scott Cochran.
You think you give him a big bag? He comes over and runs strength and conditioning?
Yes.
Okay, I'm down with it. That's another great one, because he was Saban's guy for 12 years, and then goes to Georgia, and those 21 and 22, that trench play. I mean, we saw it when we played them. It was out of this world.
Scott Cochran, man, he reminded me of Ben Herbert. Same attitude, mantra. I was listening to him.
Discipline guy.
I was listening to his segment. He was addicted to pain pills or OxyContin, and he had to fight it. And he said he is proud of his addiction because he was able to overcome it. And he deal with it on the daily, but he give his thanks to the Son, Father, and the Holy Spirit. And West Alabama lost a player and their father in a car accident. And he was talking about this, how he brought, because the team was willing from it. They were dealing with it. And he said, I didn't make it about me. And I seen my team, down about it. So I just pulled everybody in and let them know that, we can come together and through Son, Father, and Holy Spirit, and I like that. And I think Ohio State had a revival in the offseason, a Bible revival. That's why they're having success, because they put God first.
Yeah.
When you put God first, things are gonna come out better than what you wanted to come out. That's what Ohio State did. I pay attention to them all year long, and I respected them for that. They put God. Travion Henderson started it. If you don't keep God first, guess what? The result ain't gonna be pretty, because how you gonna ask for him and then you ain't gonna do for him? So Scott Cochran would be the man.
I like that. I like that. That potential is like Moffitt or Cochran. I think would be great here.
Yeah, Cochran is
let's throw a big bag and let's get him. Because I think Herbert's Herbert's staying he's got a great life in LA. You got the sun, you got the beaches, you got work-life balance. He doesn't have to coach 365 days a year anymore. So I think he's good with counting his stacks of cash in LA. But these two coaches, I feel like you could bring in to be the discipline guy, to be the strength and conditioning. And just because, Sharon is kind of a player coach, like a player's coach. And I don't know how he's going to turn from that to a disciplinarian overnight. He coaches his way. So what you need is if he's going to be good cop, you need bad cop. Yep. I don't think we have bad cop in the room.
And you watch it if you watch like an interrogation Raw show or Dateline NBC. They bring in the good cop first, and then they ain't getting nowhere with the good cop. They're bringing that bad cop when they pull up the chair close to him. Hey man, I know you was at the scene, man. I know your DNA there. You sitting up here trying to play. I need you to tell me what really went down. And then they get in their face and they put their hand on their knee and like, hey, you can do it. Tell the truth. And they're like, man, I'll tell you everything. And I'll tell you everything. And then that's where they got them, man. Because like I said at the game, I'm down by the bench. I'm talking to all the recruits, Malachi Lee, Moose, Lovewick, Bryce throw the interception. Bryce looking for somebody to comfort him. Nobody goes around him. So he grabbed Andrew Marsh by the wrist and pulled him down, sit there. Then I yell, Bryce, hold your head up. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. And he looked at me right in my eye, and you can see the little boy in him. He just wanted somebody there with him. And I don't think Sharon is doing that.
Right.
And we need Sharon more to do that. Be there for your players. Be there for your players. Be there for your players. Jim Harbaugh was. You think JJ go out there and throw a pick? Jim Harbaugh went in that man's face? Hey, man, what you doing out there? What you out there doing? I ain't shit. I seen it.
He had that pregame ritual, too, remember? With and now he's doing it with Justin Herbert.
That's all I'm saying. You put God first, things will always come forth. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all wake up, thank God. You know what I mean? And some people don't know how to pray. But hey, listen, all you gotta do is just wake up. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to see another day that was promised. Guide me through this day, Holy Spirit. And thank you, Son, for dying on the cross for our sins. It ain't gonna be easy every day, but if you can get through it and do your best to overcome everything, then God will guide you, and the Holy Spirit will too. So, and I seen Ohio State do that, and that's what they leaning on. They leaning on God more than themselves. So,
yeah, Ryan Day's not doing the penguin dance as much anymore.
Nope, he focused.
Yeah,
he was at the revival too. So that's all I'm saying, man.
I got you.
Yeah, man, that's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to sway nobody to be a certain way, but God is king. That's it. It's the only way, man.
You for sure.
Hey, John, is it a way that you can get a hold of the board of the Regents or athletic department with your connection to say, hey, is there anything we can do to because the Ellisons are not going to keep playing. These donors are not going to keep playing. These boosters are not going to keep playing. They'll either go at Ward and Sharon and the Board of Regents because they're not going to play with their money. Be like, hey, we're giving you this money and you bullcrapping.
Yeah, let me send a note or two. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I'm for real. I appreciate you.
Journalism here at Michigan at the
because we fans. Tage the Kane brought it up to me last night. He said, man, we on the couch coaches, but we know football. Like we do, we see it. We know what football supposed to look like. We know what Michigan football supposed to look like because we've seen it as we was growing up, they tough up in the front on the defensive line. They don't play no games. We ain't seen that in the last 2 seasons with Michigan. We see Sharon Moore taking us back to the Richard Rod and Brady Hope days, and we don't want that.
Well, I don't know if you saw the episode of The Blueprint when Jake Butt was talking about, and I said it at the beginning of the show too, but he talked about the difference in the room, in like the film room, when Brady Hoke walks in there versus when Jim Harbaugh walked in there, right? Brady Hoke walks in there, they're all joking, they're all laughing, applauding. When Jim Harbaugh walks in there, silent. Because as they said to Jake Butt, we only clap when we win.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And Sharon Moore ain't getting that respect.
All right, Mar, any final thoughts for us?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all. Go Blue Chat. God bless y'all. Michigan basketball on Saturday with them boys on. And before I go, my final thought is, how's the men hockey team number 1? The men's basketball team is number 3. And the women's basketball team is number 6. And they all got a chance to win a national championship this year. And our football team number 18.
Got to get it right.
Think about that. Because the women play UConn tough. It's scary hours if that team, Michigan women's basketball team, is in that tournament and they go through everybody and then they meet somebody, because nobody's tough in women's basketball because of NIL. You see South Carolina struggling now because before NIL they were throwing everybody the bag. Now they suck.
Yeah, South Carolina was like number 1 or just at the very top for years.
But they've been sucky because they can't pay. They ain't got the money like that. They can't compete when NIL came. They couldn't compete with it.
It's like Alabama in football. They've taken a little bit of a dip. I mean, they're still winning games, but they've taken a dip since Saban.
Yep.
All right, Mar, we appreciate you as always.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Love, man.
All right. So thank you to Mar. And that is going to do it for callers tonight. So we are, unless somebody drops 133 in the next minute or two when I do my last ad reads, we're going to wrap it up there. So let's go ahead and thank one more time Win Agency. We'll pop them right on the screen here. Win Agency. At Win Agency, they try to make things as simple as possible. They have 3 self-service options available on their website. Check out the links in the chat. You can run your own marketplace quote, Medicare quote, and life insurance quote, available 24/7, 365. And then, of course, as always, Healthy Dogma, our other sponsor. It's all about what you put. You care about your diet. Do you care about what your dog's diet's all about? Every Michigan fan knows the feeling of family, and for many of us, that includes our dogs. Healthy Dogma believes in feeding them like family with ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. Order at healthydogma.com using code 25GoBlue. Save yourself $25. And you don't have to change your dog's entire meal plan around. Just try get some treats. See if your dog likes the treats. Start there. They're Michigan alum. They're Michigan fans. And they support us. And we do have Blue Wolverine. We got Blue Wolverine here. Blue Wolverine, as we know, always in the trenches. Always representing Michigan. Not just in friendly territory, but I always say this. I love it, though. Represents Michigan everywhere. And that's really cool. These question is, does it have chicken? So this one is duck flavor. But if you check their website, check out what they have, see if there's something that you think I'll actually pop the link in that includes the discount. So if you use this link, it automatically will apply the 25% discount that they're giving community members here at Michigan Voice of College Football. So check that out. See if there's something you like. Where's Moose? Well, we got Moose Ludwig in the class. I know who you mean, though. Moose going through some things. I'll just leave it there. Great guy, and he's here when he can be. And whenever he does come here, we appreciate it. We got Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise in the house. I need someone to check on the mental health of Dallas fan. I saw Dallas in here, I think, last night. I think was in here. Or last night or the night before when TJ and Juju were running the call-in show or running the Michigan show. But he's still going after. He's still calling everybody out and saying Notre Dame is the best and that Notre Dame has the best recruiting. And you gotta love the rose-colored glasses or whatever the case may be. So anyway, just to put a bow on this show, as we did go about a half an hour over, even though we fell short on our super chats. We were just having great calls with Marmar and everybody. But big news, huge flip, Michigan's recruiting class. Brady Marquise from Cartersville, Georgia, flipping from Georgia to Michigan. Looks like the class is going to be number 11 in the country. Very exciting stuff. And coming up, I believe in about a half hour, I'm just going to check right now, just to double check before I send this link out. So we may have a Mark Rogers show. I don't see the video up yet, but we may have a Mark Rogers show in about a half an hour. And then our next show is going to be Michigan Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is TJ and Minnie Hunt, who also is part of Corn Nation. So she is a hybrid Nebraska and Michigan fan. It still blows my mind, but that's where we are. Michigan Live will be back, and I will be back Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday, the call-in show with TJ and Johnny is going to be right here. See if we have any final thoughts, any final comments from the audience, from the community, all of you guys who make this show happen. Let's see. Goats since Yost, thank you. Really appreciate that. Mike says, show her the 97 postseason. Well, I think she's probably a little bit, she would probably pick Nebraska if they're head to head. But also a Michigan fan, which we like to see. Any other comments? We could potentially still get someone else. Who do you think we could get? Calvin Russell ain't coming here. I don't think. Did you guys see his announcement yesterday that he wasn't announcing and he did one of these? He's going to the U. He's going to Miami. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here and say I was wrong. I'm never afraid to do that. I was wrong about Michigan winning Saturday, and I'm going to have to make a video now with Chris Drew saying go Bucks because that's what our team and coaching made me do, is lose a bet. But anyway, I just think that Dusty May was the jump moment. Yeah, I mean, why can't there be an equivalent of Dusty May on the football program? Because Dusty May is kind of like the Signetti of college basketball right now. You know, he's not afraid to use the portal, and he shored that program up overnight. Just like Signetti, there have been some close games, some nail biters, but they win. And I feel like can Sharon become that? Or does he need to coach at like a G5 program for a couple years? Or a Northwestern type program? Like, I don't know the answer. I am hoping we can get it together and hire the right people, fire the right people, and get the culture, get the program where there is good. Because I don't think Sharon is ever going to become a disciplinarian military type. Like, he is who he is. You need bad cop. And Biff Poggi is not bad cop. Biff Poggi is another player's coach. So you need good cop, bad cop. If Sharon is going to continue to kind of do what he does, you need someone to counteract that, like we were talking about with Marmar. Okay. With that said, we do appreciate everybody hanging with us for our special show tonight. And we will be back Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern for Michigan Mondays with TJ and Minnie. And I do have to, before I go, I do have to say something about this comment. Don, 9-3 record is not bad for a second-year coach learning on the job. I have to stop you right there. This isn't a 9-3. Like, not all 9-3s are made equally. Technically, you're right. It's 9-3. But I would argue if we had last year's schedule, we'd go 6-6, maybe 7-5 with this team. I believe the 24 team beats the 25 team. I think we're going this direction. And I'm hoping that with some of the moves that are being made, we can flip it around. But what I've seen, there's kind of some mixed signals. There's, recruiting's good, but guess what? You know who else was a good recruiter? Brady Hoke. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for the recruiting class. I am. I think they did a great job. NIL did a great job too, right? It's not all, it's coaching, but it's also NIL. So it's a 6-6, 7-5, I believe, with the same schedule as last year. Because who did we beat? Who did we beat? Tell me. Washington. That's it. Everyone else was expected. Losing to MSU, losing to Northwestern, losing to Purdue, that would have been red alert territory. That would have been drop everything and, that would have been red alert territory. Goats is right. I saw improvement on the O-line, but not nearly enough, right? At times they protected Bryce well, but the trenches mismatch this year was rough. It was rough to watch. USC manhandling us at both lines of scrimmage was shocking. It's USC. We'll look at Tim real quick. Devin Gardner, McCauley was torching Igbinosun. He was. Underwood wasn't seeing the field well at all against Ohio State, and I don't understand why. I don't understand how he was that good against Maryland and then that bad against Ohio State. I don't get it. And it makes me think that when Sharon is running the offense, he loses confidence. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's behind it. All I know is he was crushing it against Maryland. The play calling was much more open. It looked like Chip was much more in control of the offense. And then Sharon Moore takes the controller back. And what did we see? We saw Bryce missing obvious reads. Andrew Marsh was exploiting the fact that Patricia was keeping the middle of the field open. That 5-2 base that they were running on defense, they were wide open in the middle of the field. And Andrew Marsh was wide open. As you can see, McCulley was beating Igbinosun. But Bryce needs to be able to see that. And that's why I'm not out on Bryce. I think Bryce is immensely talented. But he needs a real quarterback coach. That's a dedicated quarterback coach. The USC loss was ugly. That's super, super genius. Thank you for the 2. I agree with you there. All right. So with that said, again, I want to thank everybody for being part of this show. We are going to be back Monday. Appreciate everybody for hitting the like button, for super chatting, for becoming a member, all of the things. If you want to become a member, I'll pop the link right here to support what we do each and every week. We have multiple shows that we do every single week for free, right? So I'm going to pop. Actually, I didn't pop the join part of that. Let me go one more time. So there it is. If you want to become a member, the link is right there. We would really appreciate it. It helps support what we do each and every day. So thank you for doing that if you haven't become a member. Okay. So Jackson, up next is the Alabama call-in show and then the college football show with Voice of College Football. I was looking for the Mark Rogers video for 10 and I didn't see it, but I will link right now to the Alabama. How about that? Let's all support Jackson Johnson, who always supports us. And he's got a call-in show in 23 minutes. So let's go ahead and support Jackson Johnson, the Alabama call-in show, because I don't have the video. Mark hasn't put the video up for if he's doing the 10 tonight. So go ahead and there's the link to the Alabama call-in show. You can learn a little bit about Alabama. Jackson's a great host. Check that out. And he will be taking calls as well. All right, we went a little bit over, but it was fine because we were all having a good time. Appreciate you, Jackson, and by the way, if you do call in, check out. Like he welcomes anybody to call in. Ask him about college football history. He will tell you. I have never seen someone who can point out. This person missed a kick in November 18th, 2003. Georgia Tech punter got a punt blocked. I mean, it's absolutely unreal. Check that out. It's really good stuff. All right, everybody. For the millionth time, that's going to do it. You can find me on X at John D'Adamo. Get my takes. I did also want to say, speaking of X, I had some people call me out for a comment that I made. I do want to address that real quick. I made a comment. It went a bit viral about that. I said, we look like soft ass bitches. Okay. I did not mean to call an individual player that. I meant that as a whole, as a program, we always call Ohio State soft. I had to call it like it is. Michigan looked like the soft one when normally Ohio State looks like the soft one. I had to point that out to be fair. I'm just trying to be fair and objective and use the same terminology when I see it go the other way too. So again, if any, like I may have crossed the line slightly. Apologies for that, because I don't want a player to be discouraged because of that. Okay. I still see a lot of hope in the program. And I see that if the right changes are made and the right people are brought in and some other people are kind of like JB Brown, that I think this could still be a really great program. And there is hope coming in with this 11th ranked class. So again, that's going to do it for me. And from there, we'll see you Monday night. TJ and Minnie will. And then I'll see you guys Tuesday night for the Michigan Live show. Go Blue, everybody. Have a great night.